Okay, fam, let's do another lovely relationship moment story time. And in this one, I'm going to focus on a skill that I actually learned because I don't want to feed into the incorrect belief that sometimes you see floating around on the internet that women deserve to only be catered to by men and we just sit here and do nothing and receive. For me, at least, when I'm in a relationship, it is very high priority for me, and I take pride in and pleasure in treating people really well. So, going back in some years here, and I was dating someone who had been really mistreated in prior relationships. He'd been like really badly cheated on, and so I had a lot of patience for him because I knew what had happened to him. I had also been cheated on too, but not super recently and not super atrociously like he had. So one time we were out to lunch with a mutual friend, actually the friend that introduced us. And I had been friends with this mutual friend for years. There were zero sparks between us. He was a guy, and it was just a really lovely friendship at that point. So after the meal, we go back, and I am noticing that my dude is not okay. So after doing a little bit of hunting, as you sometimes do, he shared with me that he was feeling a little bit insecure because there had been three of us at that table, me and my partner, and then across from us, our other friend, who was a man. And because of my partner's trauma with the ex that had cheated on him so badly, he had a lot of big confusing feelings about me being totally platonic, not flirty at all, but kind, interested, engaged, active listening, and also actively communicating with the third friend in this little triangle at the table there. So here's the part that I'm really proud of, actually. I knew that I was faithful. I knew that not in a million years would I go out with this other guy, even if I was single. I had been single and known him for years, so clearly that wasn't gonna happen. I was not at all triggered because I knew what the truth was, and I also knew his history, and I knew why he was so weird about it. So, first, I apologized, not because I'd done anything wrong, but because I was sorry that he felt the way he felt and said, "I'm sorry that you felt that way." I reassured him, "You're totally safe." And I validated him and I said, "I know you've been through some stuff, so it's okay that you feel that way, and I am here to help you feel better." I didn't make him feel guilty or crazy or insecure, and I knew that he was totally safe with me. I'm not a cheater, so no problem. And I continued to talk more to him and work stuff out so that we then had a tool to use for later. It ended up being like, squeeze my hand 3 times at any given time and we'll leave whatever situation it is, period. I don't think we ever used it, but it was there. And so rather than this being some fight, some argument about like, "Oh, well, you don't trust me, oh, da da da," or whatever, it actually brought us closer together at the end. Then we had some shared bonding. I had helped him kind of unwind some of the stuff that I understood why it was there. And we had a tool that we could use in the future. So let's fast forward a few months here. And just because in the last video I told you why we broke up, here's one of the things that happened with this guy. A few months later, I felt a little weird because of some stuff that was going on between him and his ex. Yes, the one that cheated on him. And it was weird vibes. And so I brought it up. I said, "Hey, I'm feeling a little weird about this specific thing," which I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because it's too exact, but most people would feel weird in that situation. I wasn't accusing him of anything. I was just like, "Hey, I'm feeling a little weird." The subtext is, can you give me some reassurance? Can you like respond to me with the same love and care and prioritizing and solution-based support that I gave you? No problem. And his response was, "Here we go." And then we proceeded to get in a really long argument because of all the things that can go wrong in something like that. We ended up breaking up a little while later because there had been something up between us. I don't know what we were arguing about, but I was asking him to show up, to come use some emotional intelligence and communicate with me and heal whatever the thing was that was between us. And he didn't like that, so he just immediately broke up with me. That one was rough because from what I had seen and done, I had been a really good partner to this man. I had been patient, I had been accommodating, I had been all the things that I think that we should be in relationship. And it was not returned. It was not equal. He did not do that for me. And past a certain point, it was one of those things where you're with someone because you're loyal, not because it's actually good. So I don't miss that. So I think the takeaway of this story is, at least for me, it was I take pride and pleasure in being a good partner and being a good friend and being a good socially connected person. But just because you are a good partner, it doesn't necessarily mean that your partner is also a good partner to you. Sometimes, yes, you can love somebody into growing with you and you guys can create a really beautiful thing together. But sometimes there are relationships that exist, and I can think of a couple in my life where at the end of it I see, oh, well, it's nice to know that I can be a really good partner. Love y'all. Have a great day.